So good morning, everybody. Donovan, Visser here again. Thanks for taking the time to join us for our first business partner webinar. We're hoping to make this a recurring thing moving forward based on feedback, where we can have a monthly or bi-monthly updates related specifically to new features coming out and things we're busy with. Just to keep this relatively orderly and in the interest of time, we'd ask that we can keep the questions till the very end of the presentation. We'll be happy to answer them then. And again, thank you very much for taking the time to participate. I'm going to introduce Steve and Corrigan now, who's just going to do a general introduction, and welcome.
Morning, everyone, and thank you very much for your time. Just to, we have a technical issue at the moment, changing slides, there we go. So just to go back, we're just going to run through the agenda here. For those of you who haven't received it, we're going to go pretty quickly through the formalities and towards the end spend a lot more time on the actual products and features themselves rather than kill you with PowerPoint. So this will not be a death by PowerPoint presentation, we hope. For those of you that would like the presentation, we're quite happy to give it to you afterwards. Just as a welcome and overviews, I think the last 6 months has been absolutely crazy for the world. And just on behalf of Palladium, I'd like to express our deepest sympathies and condolences for any of you that had someone that has suffered hardships or passed away during this COVID epidemic. Unfortunately, we're probably close to halfway there. So it's a matter of just trying to change how we do business going forward. I think it's fair to say that how we do business and travel and conduct meetings has forever changed. And we just, at the moment now, it's just adapt or die, to coin a phrase. As a business, we've been pretty fortunate, and a lot of our partners throughout Africa has, I don't know how you guys have done it actually, but managed to close some really big deals. And we've been having some pretty bumper months from a Palladium point of view. I think it's because of a few reasons, Palladium getting out there, and second of all, that from a cost point of view, we're actually very affordable in terms of value for money for certain clients. So it's clients saving money on the higher end of the scale, coming down to a Palladium from an affordability point of view, with our products sort of meeting them halfway in terms of features. So we are hoping this will continue. From a pricing point of view, Donovan will touch on it, but we're not looking at increasing any prices for this foreseeable future. And we really want to work closer with you in terms of any prospects you have and anything we can do to help you guys close a sale, generate some revenue. I think whatever we need to do together in the next 6 months, we are prepared to do it. I think from a product point of view, we're very fortunate in terms of releasing things like online web stores, a lot of mobility, and I suppose in hindsight, we're fortunate where our point of sale is very new to the market. We haven't been greatly exposed into the hospitality industry. So with that being said, I'm going to hand you back over to Donovan. And again, thank you very much for your time.
Great. So thank you, Steve. I think that the quote I've put up is very relevant to the topic we're talking about, where it really talks about it's not the strongest or the smartest that survive, but really the one that's most adaptable to change. And that's very, very relatable to the experience we're having currently with COVID. So obviously, I mean, I don't need to remind you of the impact that the COVID epidemic has had on business and lifestyle as a whole. But I mean, overnight we were expected to distance ourselves socially, work remotely, and a lot of businesses never had the ability natively to do that. So They faced a lot of challenges, which included accessing data remotely, being able to work from various different locations. Reduced income was a major factor there, and obviously that's related to loss of sales. So in order for them to move forward, they have to have the ability to adapt, and they need to change their way of thinking. So to effectively do that, they needed to adapt a mobile way of thinking, and this has propelled technology to the forefront. So moving forward, there's a very big push to being able to work from anywhere at any time. We've established how important it is to be able to do these things and adapt that remote way of thinking. So we've really addressed that, or trying to address that by creating a more mobile way of thinking around Palladium. And we're going to go through that in a little bit more detail during the presentation, with specifically our mobile applications, the e-commerce integration capabilities, and obviously the ability to host your data remotely as well, effectively negating the need to be on site anymore. Just a rough overview of the business partner program. Obviously, myself being relatively new, this is only my second month at Palladium. I've spent quite a bit of time introduced to our existing business partners and meeting them and assisting them with needs they may have. And we're looking forward, I'm looking forward, very much forward to engaging with you more in the future. And I mean, there's obviously lots of you that I have yet to meet and will definitely make time to do so. So just a couple of key things I've noticed from being here the short span of time is obviously we're very, very much channel focused, and the idea is to really enable our business partners as much as possible and assist them in growing their business, which will ultimately assist us in growing ours. As part of that, we've made a commitment to not increase any prices. So we haven't increased any prices this year. We are still very firm on the stance that we don't impose targets or a tier-based structure with our business partners. And I think that really creates a level playing field where everyone's in the same boat, and that there's no stringent measures in place, to ensure they behave or act a certain way. From an account management point of view, we really want to get more business partner focused. And this means really getting more involved with your deals, not only when we're handing or introducing you to potential prospects, but even with prospects that you found yourself. So the idea is for us to really engage with your clients directly. I mean, obviously the business is still your business, but we're really here to try and assist you as much as possible in making sure that we're able to help you effectively grow your business. So from a marketing point of view, we obviously employ various methods for lead generation ourselves. Wherever possible, we would qualify or pre-qualify those leads and then hand them over to a business partner within the specific region. And we'd encourage you to do the same. If there are any marketing initiatives that you think will be beneficial for Palladium or for your business as a whole, we're happy to engage with you on those and look at the potential of sharing costs in some cases where it would be mutually beneficial. Having said that, from an account management and a business partner perspective, there have to be certain ways things are done. And we really want to get a big focus on maintaining those relationships moving forward in terms of response times to certain leads, really enabling our business partners in terms of having the ability to effectively demonstrate the software, effectively implement the software, and support it thereafter. So if there's anything from our side that we can do to assist you moving forward, we have many plans in the pipeline in which we'll be able to provide you with demonstration videos, etc., to really help that process move along. Just a quick update regarding the data hosting. Obviously, this ties in very much with the COVID-19 social distancing working remotely strategy. So there's no need to be based in an office anymore. You're not reliant on costly hardware and file servers and complicated VPNs that you're connecting with. You're now able to host your data in a data center and have multiple employees access the same data from anywhere at the same time. So as part of this strategy, we've formed a strategic partnership with Dande Mutande in Zimbabwe, which effectively means clients in Zimbabwe now receive multiple benefits related to their data hosting, which include obviously paying in their local currency. And a big one for some businesses is the fact that the data is now sitting in the country and not outside of the borders. And in some cases, that's a requirement. You know, when we have a local hosting partner, the end user is not reliant on or not dependent on our working hours and our public holidays and so on and so forth. It becomes very much local based. As well as obviously your data's being managed and backed up in your own country. So moving forward, we would also encourage our business partners to perhaps look at engaging with potential strategic partners within their region, because this is overall going to increase or better the client's experience at the end of the day. They've got a much quicker connection, the data's sitting locally, they've got someone locally they can speak to and pick up the phone if they have any issues. And I just think from an overall user experience point of view, it's going to make things much better. So again, thanks very much. It was great to meet you guys. I'm going to hand over to Anthony Westman now. He's going to just do a little bit of a competitor analysis.
Good morning, guys. Very, very nice to meet with you in this webinar and to speak to you. It's been a while and it's been a bit of a disruptive period for all of us. And the way we've been working has been very different from what we used to. But things seem to be coming back to normal slowly. But it's really, really good to have to meet with all of you. And it's really good that we're going to be trying to do this on a regular basis going forward. As Donovan said, we're trying our damnedest to improve the way we deal with our business partners, because after all, you are effectively our sales team out in the market, and we rely on that and we appreciate that. We certainly do. So yeah, it's really good. I know most of you. I know most of you really well, and I speak to you, if not on a daily, certainly on a weekly basis. And really, it's the more we can communicate, the better it is. The easier it is for us to work together, to put deals together, and to be successful. So I've been asked to do a short session just on a competitor analysis, but I'm not going to look at other products and say, well, they can't do this and we can do this. What I want to do is I just want to highlight some of the very basic things that Palladium does that is not necessarily what other companies do, and what makes us different and what makes us stand out. Very often we approach a company and suggest Palladium to them, and we get very bogged down in the intricacies of the deal. And we end up, spending so much time trying to work out processes that we forget some of the basics that somebody who's looking at switching the ERP system wants to know. There's some very basic things that they want to know, and it comes around costs and ease of data transfer and things like that. So the basics, and I'm going to go over those just as a reminder that these are things that we need to bring up when we first approach customers and potential customers, and they are things that make Palladium fairly unique. So Donovan spoke about the business partner program, the enhancements to the program, and how we're trying to strengthen these partnerships. And I think you'll all agree that the relationships that we have with you, our business partners, and the way we work with in our business partner program makes it very easy for you guys to work with us. So I think there's an incentive automatically for you guys to work with us because we do have that relationship. We don't compete with you on sales, and we don't restrict you to certain regions. We don't have tiered comm structures. You know, there are no shifting goalposts when you're dealing with Palladium. I've been in this company for 6 years, and we haven't changed our partner rebates once in that period. Everybody's treated the same, and everybody receives the same support, and I think that's a good thing, and I'm sure you guys do appreciate that. So I've just highlighted 7 things that I'm going to go through fairly quickly that makes Palladium different, that customers who are looking at changing their ERP will want to know about. So initially, Palladium offers a comprehensive and all-inclusive edition. We are not a modular-based program. You don't buy a basic accounting program and have to add on additional modules at a cost. You don't have to budget for these things. It's all-inclusive, which allows a company a great degree of scalability. So even a small company that's starting off can get Palladium Enterprise, and they can start working on that using a couple of the features. And as they grow and expand and become more sophisticated in the way they operate, there are available features that are available in the edition that they won't need to buy. And I think that is very important for companies. There's no surprises along the way that they have to take care of. So we offer feature-rich editions which suit all types of organizations. So we're able to provide a solution for manufacturing, retail, distribution companies, all areas of the market we take care of. As Stephen said, thankfully, not hospitality, but apart from that, yeah, we pretty much have got things covered. What about costs? Surely the most important thing for a company is costs. Palladium offers affordable payment options with no annual license fees. I don't think there's another ERP company that can say that. We do not charge annual license fees. It's a once-off fee to buy the software. Thereafter, we have a support plan, maintenance plan, either annually, quarterly, or monthly, which becomes optional after the first year. So in terms of cost of ownership, I don't think there's a program in the market in Africa that is more cost effective than Palladium. If you look at the features and the technology that we can offer, I don't think you can beat the price. There are cheaper systems around, but they certainly don't offer the functionality that Palladium can. What about technology? I'm sure easily 50% of the current customers that you have, certainly in South Africa, it's more than that, are using Pastel Partner. You guys know the whole pervasive database is written on VB6, and Microsoft stopped producing VB6 in 1998. It's over 20 years old, but still they're banging on with it. And this is the same with a lot of legacy software. Palladium uses the latest best-of-breed Microsoft products. We have no data corruptions. SQL ensures data integrity and stability with full data authentication and rollbacks so that you have maximum uptimes. There's no unexpected costs associated with data corruptions and downtime and not being able to work. So the technology is hugely important, and Palladium's kept up with that and is using the latest technology. No lost staff productivity. And we also have some very clever features such as a dynamic database connection and not a static database connection that other systems use nowadays. So if the internet goes down, you're not going to have to stop working and re-sign on. It'll roll back and it'll connect when the internet comes back on. So good technology, good features, things to keep in mind when approaching a client. Okay, if you're speaking to the business owner, the one thing that he is going to want to know about is he's going to want to know about reporting. A business owner doesn't particularly care the way something is captured or who captures what when. What he wants to see is figures. He wants to see numbers. He wants to be able to compare data. And Palladium provides a plethora of reporting options. Palladium offers complete real-time reporting. With anytime reporting, you're not restricted to periods, reporting on periods. You can report at any date and time, over any period in time. And that includes aging, inventory aging and valuation reports, and customer and vendor aging reports as well. So you are able to pull out a huge amount of data from static reports on each of the modules, but also with embedded BI that we have in the system. And I think most of you have seen the new premium product. Within the new premium product, the BI is exceptionally good. Very easy to use, very easy to set up your data, to create your views and refresh them and look into them. At the same time, we still are able to link up with Microsoft Power BI, create views, create reports, which you are then able to publish to the web, and you are able to access that from anywhere, from any device. We've made it as easy as possible to get the maximum amount of reporting in order to make good business decisions. So very important. The next point, data conversions, is probably the biggest single reason why people are reluctant to change their ERP systems. You know, to lose data that you have, or not be able to bring over data, or for it to be an enormous hassle to convert your data into a new system, it is very off-putting to companies. It's something they don't want to do, and certainly it's what makes them reluctant to change systems. But in Palladium, we have a full data conversion tool from Partner, which again, I'll say to you, is probably the vast majority of your customers are currently on that program. So not only will we bring over master files, but we bring over history as well. For other systems, we are able to do file imports, bring over master files and other information, and we have created easy to use CSV templates to be able to put that information in and import it directly into the system. I think one of the most exciting developments that we are doing, which will soon be available, is that we will also have a full data conversion tool from Sage Evolution. And I think that's just going to open up an enormous amount of opportunities for all of us. Training and ease of use. We offer free online training, and I hope this is something that you guys are using as a part of your sales pitch. I don't think there's another company that offers free online training. In fact, I think even you as business partners need to pay for your training with other companies. We don't do that. You and your customers get free online training via the Palladium University and the modular daily online training courses. And of course, that just, you know, it just makes it so much easier and so much less more hassle-free to be able to change over to a new system. And then our silver bullet, the thing that really makes us stand out, the fact that we do development, ongoing and constant development, and all of our development and all of the reasons and the features that you see in Palladium have come from your customers. We don't just develop for the sake of it. We do development based on requirements that you have, requirements that your customers have, so that we are able to customize and develop this program into something that is relevant and usable for your customers. And that is ongoing. So I think, you know, if you have a look at these things, you'll see that Palladium, really, we've tried to position ourselves as the ERP system of choice in Africa. I think we are fast developing and becoming that. Certainly, I believe we way past the partners and have overtaken the evolutions of this world. And we really are producing something that is exciting and relevant and user-friendly for your customers. So that's me. We are going to have a look now. Lindi is going to take over and go through the Acumatica reseller program before we get into some of the we're going to demo some of the features of the new system. So enjoy, guys. It's great speaking to you, and we'll speak soon. Thank you.
I hope everyone can hear me from where I'm sitting. Thank you, Anthony. Anyone following Anthony always has a tough job because he's so passionate and articulate about the product. Thank you to Steve and the team for allowing us an opportunity to include Acumatica. This is definitely a first, having an Acumatica slot in a Palladium BP webinar. Acumatica is definitely not here to take away the spotlight from Palladium, but to definitely highlight another of our product offerings and a chance for you to earn potential as a value BP. What I'm going to cover today, and just to note, I only have a 5-minute slot, so we have to do a lot in 5 minutes to get you excited. I'm going to chat, for those that don't know, a little bit about the Acumatica and Palladium history, why Acumatica in under a minute, a little bit about the Acumatica referral program, and leave you with the contact details. You'll see that I've gone into quite a bit of detail, and it's more to use as a reference so that you can go back if you are excited or want to find out more about Acumatica. So Palladium Business Solution has been an Acumatica partner since 2012. So Acumatica was founded in 2008, and what's important to note is we're the longest standing partner of Acumatica's in the continent. And I want to go back to the Acumatica Gold Certified Partner, just to say that Acumatica has stringent certification processes, which are reviewed annually. So you really have to go all out to maintain that status. And we continue to do it. So we haven't dropped once. I've mentioned about the longest running partner in Africa. From the team itself, we have a division within Palladium Business Solutions. You have dedicated support and technical experts to assist with the Acumatica clients and implementations. I'll go into a little bit more about Acumatica as a ERP solution, but what I want to highlight here is they have a unique user licensing model, which is consumption-based. There is a user offering, but we find this works really, really well and let your business scale as and when you need it. Very important to note is Acumatica is very competitively priced. So what they've done is they've localized the pricing. There's South African-based ZAR pricing and very attractive USD pricing for Africa, which allows us to compete with the Sages, the SAPs, Microsoft Dynamics, NetSuite, just to name a few. How they work, they have different editions, which are very industry, sorry, I just see something flashing. Okay, no problem. Industry specific, but I'll share all of that information if you're interested, and I have left the contact details. And what's important to note here, Acumatica ships for full access to source code and integrated document management solutions. Thank you, Donovan. Okay, this is the latest messaging from Acumatica, hot off the press. And I think it really echoes what Donovan and Anthony have been talking about in our post-COVID-19 or the workplace as we currently find ourselves in. So connected business, it's business software that is built for the web. It allows rapid and seamless integrations with other applications and platforms. This is the one that I'm doing in under a minute. Remote collaboration, it's born in the cloud. So you can connect anywhere, anytime, on any device. You'll hear that a lot from Acumatica. I think the last 2 points are really important, business resilience. Acumatica is an ERP solution that empowers businesses to be resilient through remote and connected operations and future-proof. Protect your investment in your customer's business by ensuring it's running on a platform that is built in adaptability. Okay, the Acumatica Partner Referral Program, I think works very similar to the Palladium program, just one or two different steps. So if you have a customer who's interested in a cloud-based ERP solution, while Palladium's made great strides to be fully web-based, this is a good fit for your mid-market size companies and born in the cloud solution. The Partner Referral Program provides non-certified Acumatica parties, and then I go back to the reference to being gold certified, a formal, organized, and lucrative option for your customers looking to select Acumatica as their cloud ERP solution. So the referral program is based on the recurring revenue model. So it's only available to what you would know as subscription, not outright. You refer prospects to Palladium, we will successfully work with and close the prospect. Once closed, we will reward you, the referring party, with a recurring reward that gets paid to you as long as the customer renews. We will pay a minimum of 5%, up to 20% of the Acumatica subscription to you. It's very dependent on the nature of the deal, the size of the deal, and what's entailed, the margin levels. The first payment is made when we receive the payment from the customer. The steps, you just submit a prospect lead to Palladium. You don't have to worry about the partner referral submission form. I'll give you my details and the sales team's details, and we'll help you register without hassle. We'll qualify the leads that you send us. Again, as I said before, we manage the opportunity until the deal is closed. Let us do the work. We'll deliver the solution, invoice the prospect, and as mentioned, we pass the referral rewards to you, the business partner. So I think as Anthony's mentioned, Donovan, this process empowers you to remain focused and let us do the hard yards. Okay, I think I've got 2 more left, Don, and I'll make it in 5 minutes, not taking anything away from Palladium. I just want to highlight again that it's a minimum of 5% referral fee, up to 20%. You get that recurring at each annual renewal. It helps you to build a profitable recurring subscription business in addition to the Palladium offering. And yeah, the last point is quite important, reduce your sales or implementation commitments. But then it's a partnership and we'll work with you. Okay, last but not least, the most important, we would love to hear from you. And we're going to be sharing the webinar. That's our website details. We're in the process of refreshing it. So watch the space, and there are the team details. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Great. So we're going to now move on to the exciting part, and we're going to hand you over to Tasmyn, who you may have spoken to when calling into the office. She's part of the sales team, and she's going to be taking you through the Magento integration. So if you just give me 1 moment, I'm just going to hand over the hosting to her.
Hello everyone, my name is Tasmyn and I'm going to be taking you through the Magento web store integration with you. Let me just share my screen here. Okay, so Palladium Shoppers is a web store integration between Magento and Palladium Accounting. Sorry, I'm just trying to share my screen quickly. There we go.
There we go. Perfect.
Okay, let me start again. Palladium Shoppers is a web store integration between Magento and Palladium Accounting. Shoppers integrate your Palladium Accounting database with the Magento e-commerce platform. Palladium Shoppers
will set up your store by importing your customers, your inventory, your item descriptions, and your images from your Palladium database. Shoppers is built using Magento 2. There's no geographic restrictions to using Palladium Shoppers. It is a global platform. With Shoppers, you can create your online store in just minutes. I'll now take you through the steps on just how quick and easy it is to set up your online web store. So we're going to start on our site setup details. The first question I will ask you is if you want it to be hosted by Palladium, or you can select for it to be located elsewhere. We will then insert our SQL instance username and our password. It will then ask us to test the connection before. Once that has been confirmed, it will then allow us to select which user you want the transactions to be applied to. So you can select the database, the hardware. Okay, now it will ask us which person we want the transactions to apply to. Okay, there we go. So now we can select. I'm going to select myself. Okay, then it's going to ask us for our web store name. So I'm going to say this is Tasmyn Test 1. Then it will ask us our web store URL. You can either choose to use the Shoppers domain, or you can choose to use your own private website domain. We are going to go with the Shoppers domain. So we'll put your Tasmyn test1.shoppers.co. It will then show us that the domain is available and we can continue. We'll now get to our store details. We will put in the admin's email and you'll put in your admin's password and then just confirm your password. Then it will ask you for your admin's name and your web store's contact number. Should you have a separate email address for support department, you may put that in here, but I'll keep it to my email. And then we'll just put in our physical address. I'll just put in an example. And then we'll select the country that we are from. We'll go ahead and select South Africa. Is that where we are based? Okay, and then just our zip code. Then we are going to get to the last page of setting up our web store. So now it will ask us, should you wish to upload your banner now, or you can choose to upload it later. I'll choose to upload it now just so you can see how quick and easy it is. I'll just select any image. And then what is important is the width and the height of your banner. So we'll put the height as 250 as we don't want it to be too big. Now it will allow us to choose from 4 different themes. Should you wish to preview it, you can just click over here. And as you can see, we are in copper. So I'll show you the difference by viewing opal. So there you can see a different layout. You can preview which theme you'd like to use. Okay, so we'll go with Onyx. And then it will ask you to view the T's and C's. And then we can go here and agree. Now our web store will create. It shouldn't take and once the web store is created, you'll see that it will let you know that an email has been sent through with all the admin details that we did put in now. There we go. So our web store is now successfully created and an email has been sent to the admin email that we loaded. I'll show you what that email looks like in a little bit. So now it will say, would you like to sync now? So we will select this. And as you can see, it will now allow us to sync our products, our customers, our customer price list, discount matrix, and other data from the Palladium inventory system straight into your Magento web store. The B2B would apply to the discount matrix, where your clients will see their allocated prices that you have given them. You can also set a scheduled data synchronization, where you can set your frequency to minutely, hourly, daily, weekly, or monthly. The frequency determines how often the scheduled import will take place. We won't sync now just to save a bit of time, but let me show you the email that gets through. Okay, so you can see over here, the email gets through, it sends you the website link, your admin URL to the back end of Magento, it gives you your username and your password. Okay, so as I mentioned, we won't sync now, but I will show you an example of a hardware store that we have already set up. So this is our Palladium hardware store, and as you can see, this is the banner that one would upload. And like any web store, you have all your different categories and your subcategories of all your images of your items. I will show you an example of an item in this web store and how it integrates directly with the Palladium Live database. So I will select this chrome-plated towel rack. Okay, so you can see it gives you quite a bit of information about this item. It gives you your description, it shows you that stock is available, it gives you your SKU, your pricing, and a nice clear image. Like any online web store, you have your general add to cart. Once your client proceeds to check out their cart, it will automatically generate a sales order directly into the Palladium Live database. What I'll do is I'll now show you this item in the inventory master file on our Palladium Live database, just so you can see how it pulls through everything. So it will open up now. Okay, so we viewed the chrome-plated towel rack, not this item, the chrome-plated towel rack. So as you can see, this is basically all the information we saw on the website. The description, the POS description, it even shows you the category, the subcategory, and the group that this item belongs to. You can also change this image if you'd like. You can also add multiple images should you wish to add more. Okay, so with this presentation, I would just like to express, you can see how just quick and easy that was to set up your online web store that integrates directly with your Palladium Live database, and how you can set up an automatic data synchronization, and to think that you can now generate sales 24/7 straight from your online web store without a sales team needed. Should you wish to have a more detailed demo, please contact your account manager directly. Thank you so much for your time. I will be handing over to Lisa Ford.
Good morning, one and all. My name is Lisa Hall, and I'm a part of the Palladium sales team. Today, I will be presenting on Palladium's mobile app. The app can be downloaded from an
screen is the image you will see on the actual phone. Okay, the mobile app is made of two parts. We have the mobile warehouse management. Our WMS will work with Android scanners and will allow users to manage GRVs, pick tickets, stock take, as well as warehouse and bin transfers from Android-powered mobile scanners like Zebra and Honeywell. The WMS accesses your live database, ensuring that the inventory data is always current and accurate, regardless if you're accessing it from the head office or the warehouse. The second part of the mobile app is mobile sales. This is an Android and iOS-based application that provides the ability for sales teams to connect to the live database on the go. So whether you're on the road traveling, you'll be able to generate sales orders, sales quotes, and even check your inventory availability. Now, in this demo, I will take you through the sales process. Business partners, you can either do a freehand quote, a sales quote, or a sales order. In this demo, I'll show you how easy and quick a sales order is done, signed off, converted into an invoice, and how it immediately updates the live database at the back office, where it will then be invoiced. Okay, so I'm going to go through to the sales order. I'm going to open up, I'm going to generate a sales order for you. You're going to click on this icon to generate the sales order. You can see the document number automatically generates. Then we're going to select our client. Okay, in this case, I'm going to select Mr. Visser's Enterprise. All right, it will put in the salesperson, but you can again adjust that. In this case, I'm going to keep it as myself. You can insert the reference. I'm just going to put a reference saying subscription. Then there's a very clear item where icon where it says add your item. Okay, we're just going to select the chrome plated towel rack. Again, your items will be listed on the Palladium Live database with the images. Okay, from there, we're going to check the available quantity. You're going to select the quantity that you want to put into the sales order. You can check your pricing and adjust your pricing if the user rights allows you to. Add applicable discounts here, and then we're going to proceed. Okay, so you see it just gives you the breakdown of the pricing. We're going to add that. Next, we're going to click on the order details, and this shows the date that the sales order was processed. The delivery address, again, this can be adjusted according to where your client wants these items to be delivered to. And then again, it gives you the breakdown of the cost. Just making sure that, you know, your client has a good breakdown of the cost. Then next, we're going to look at the customer info. Now, this pulls through the customer's account details from the live database, and it allows you to see the client's balance, or the account balance, the opened orders, open quotes, and very importantly, the client's available credit. Okay, and then the last part to the sales order is just checking that the email address that you're going to email this sales order through to is the correct email, or it can be adjusted according to the client again, or you can add more than one email addresses. Obviously, we would include the body to the text, and then we're going to proceed. Okay, then this warning simply pops up to show that the client has not signed the sales order. So do you wish to continue? You can either go yes or no. In this case, I'm going to show you how the sign to glass works. I'm going to click on no. Okay, so we're going to do a signature and proceed. Okay, so here it will ask if you want to send an email to the client, yes or no. I'm going to take you back to the Palladium Live database to show you how real-time this is. Once we've generated the sales order, it immediately updated the live database. So if I open up on sales order on Palladium, we're all very familiar with the screen. So we're going to click on Mr. Visser's Enterprise, and this is your sales order. And from here, you can email it to the client as well, preview it or print. Next on the mobile app, we're going to do the delivery advice. We're going to open up this delivery advice, open the sales order that we've done. just taking some time. Okay. Okay, so this basically opens up the item, the sales order. We select the item, we select the bin location, and proceed. The color changes to say that the items are on hand and are ready to be delivered to the client. Next, we're going to go through the order details. It's just making sure that the shipping to address or the delivery address is correct, your reference delivery method, and then your client's signature. Again, your client will have to sign, my signature. Okay, and then we're going to proceed. Okay. Once we've done with the delivery advice, we're going to now do a sales invoice for the client. Okay, we're going to open up, we're going to convert the sales order that we've done into an invoice. So I'm going to click on this one. So again, business partners, this is how real time it is. I mean, everything immediately updates at the back office, and at the back office, whoever's in charge of converting the sales order to invoices will obviously have access to do this. They will go through everything, making sure whatever you've added on your sales order is correct, and then we're going to record. Okay. I'm going to copy in this invoice number, and then we're going to do the purchase order delivery. So on the mobile app, you go scroll to the bottom. I'm going to open up the purchase order delivery. I'm going to insert the invoice number. Okay, and there's our item. Okay, we're going to go to the order details. Now here, your driver, your sales agent is now gone out. They're delivering your items to the client, and the client can either sign to say they've accepted and everything's 100%, what they ordered is what they received, or they can upload an image. Here, we're going to do the sign to glass again. Okay, and once that's done, we're going to generate this. I'm going to take you back from here onto the sales invoice to show you how immediately it updates the sales invoice with the attached POD. Okay, and here at this icon, you'll see that the POD has been attached. I'm going to open up this POD to show you the client's signature is also immediately updated. Okay, and this is our purchase order delivery, proof of delivery, sorry, and this is the signature. Also, very importantly, it shows the geolocation that the order took place at, right? And this is here at the bottom of the POD. Now, in saying that, the mobile app also allows you to track your sales agents using the user location management. I just want to quickly go here. Okay. So if you have a potential client nearby or within a specific area, you can select all users at the side, left-hand side here, or one user. You can track their live location to see who's closer within the same area. Call the agent and update them on the client's visit close by. Or in other words, if you're looking for clients within a certain kilometer or a certain distance that you'd like to go and meet, you can also click the distance here, and at this little icon, you can select on show nearby customers, and it will pull up all the customers close to you. Okay, so business partners, we also have other modules like CRM. This module allows you to manage all activities within your organization, from customer collections, sales, supplier interaction to general messaging. We also have the purchase order approvals. It handles multi-level approvals, stock count, conduct stock takes either by scanning inventory or by manually entering quantities. We also have the warehouse transfer, move inventory from across different warehouses, and bin transfers, where we move inventory from different bin locations to optimize your warehousing space. And you'll see the items that are, the modules that I went through here will show on your mobile app. So that's just a quick overview of the mobile app. Please feel free to contact us should you require a more in-depth demo on the additional modules. But again, I just want to say thank you so much for your time and for all your support. I'll now hand you over to Adam Carri.
Okay, sorry about that. I was just on mute then. I'll just start again. For those in the room, they're going to have to bear with me repeating myself. So I was just saying, so I've got to perform a minor miracle here. So I've got to try and squeeze in as many of the new premium features as possible in the short time I've got. So, and trust me, there is a lot of them, and there's a lot more to come, which Stephen will discuss in the next segment. So I've just cherry-picked some of my favorite features and probably the most standout ones. So the first four that I'm looking at are, I'm sure you've had the same case where a client has multiple databases. And we've identified 4 challenges when it comes to that, especially on Palladium Premium and clients moving, sorry, not Palladium Premium, Palladium Enterprise, and clients going from other packages. So I'm just going to go through those 4 challenges. So the first challenge is master file maintenance. So I'm logged into a database here, Palladium Hardware. So the master file maintenance challenge is, if you have multiple databases, you might find with your clients that these databases often share same customers, same inventory, and same pricing. So your clients, if they create a new item, they need to create that multiple times to remember how many databases they have. So we've developed a synchronization. So we create those master files in one database and they trickle down. So I'm going to my inventory module. I'm just going to create a new code. I'm just going to call this webinar. And I'm going to create a new customer as well. It's just loading an item, and I'm going to create a new customer. Call it webinar as well. Okay, it's category. Okay, so this synchronization, it just runs in the background. So I've got it set for 2 minutes. So I'm just going to go on to my second challenge, and then we'll come back to this one to see the synchronization. So just remember, I've created a customer called webinar and an inventory item. and I'm currently in Palladium Hardware Joburg. So the second challenge is when clients have multiple databases, their users usually have to switch numerous times throughout the day to process on the relevant databases. So previously on Enterprise, you'd have to log out, select the new database, re-input your password. Whereas now we've got a very simple but smart function here where I can just quickly switch the database. So provided the username exists in all the databases, I can quickly switch companies. So I'll just click on Palladium Cape Town. And there you can see, so you'll see the database name is just updated there at the bottom. So that's my second challenge there, which we resolved with that one in Premium. And then the third one is, again, with the multiple companies, these companies you'll find that often buy and sell between each other. So usually you'd have to capture a purchase order in the one database and then capture a sales order in the other database. So you're duplicating the transactions there. So we've eliminated that on Palladium Premium. So in here, I'm going to do a new purchase order. Okay, I've just got purchase order approval set up, so I'm just going to quickly turn off that setting. Just bear with me one sec. It's one of the setting new features I will come to in a minute. Okay, just this setting over here, but we'll come back to it. Okay, so I'm doing my purchase order in Cape Town, and I'm going to process it for the Palladium Hardware Company in Joburg. So I select my supplier, Palladium Hardware Joburg, select my slot code. And it's just filtering all the items that are linked to that supplier. So I'm just going to change that and bring in an inventory code over here. Okay. So the feature doesn't seem that great if I'm just adding the one-line item. We've got a picture of large documents. You might have a document that contains like 50 items. So I'm going to record this document. So usually, like on Enterprise, at this point, I'd have to log into the other company and capture that sales order. So instead of doing that, what I'm going to do is select this e-submit button. So you'll see here it says generating purchase order. And now it says generating. So there we go. So it's saying sales order number 28 has been created successfully. So now I'm going to select that one. And I'm going to use that quick sign-on function, go back into Palladium Hardware Joburg. Screen up, go into accounts receivable. And let's look for that sales order. So there you go, there's my sales order, generated in the one company. Okay. And then my fourth challenge is the ability to view stock across databases. So again, if you have, like, especially in a retail environment as well, if you have a customer standing at the till, you don't have stock on hand, you want to be able to see if you have stock available at other stores without logging out and logging in. So at a glance, so this applies to all sales and purchase documents. Let me just go on a purchase document. Select a supplier. So under this location field here, so that, okay, I'm in the wrong database, as we switch quickly. So I've got my Palladium Joburg set up as my master company. Cape Town's my subsidiary, so I'm just going to switch companies quickly to show you this one. So under this location field here, if I click on here, so you'll see the top part is the same as it was on Enterprise. I can see what stock I have available in each location within this database. But the enhancement comes in where it's really smart, is related company inventory. So at the top, this is showing me what stock's available in Palladium Hardware Cape Town, At the bottom, it's showing me what's available in my other database. So I can't do anything with it. It's just for viewing purposes. But at least you can tell the customer, we've got stock available here. Would you like me to order it into this database? Okay, so that's those 4 functions. But I'm going to go back to that first one, the item sync. So you'll see that now I've got the customer called webinar, which I created in the other database. And I should have a stock code called webinar also. And there you go. Okay, the next function I'm going to have a look at, I see the BP is actually in attendance. It's Ramon from Durban. So I've helped him with a few demos recently. And this one feature, he won't let me finish a demo without demonstrating. So my general ledger, journal entry, and accountants are particularly fond of this feature as well. So I'm going to begin processing the journal. So before recording this document, we've got a really nice smart feature here where you can preview the financials. So I'm going to run a TV. So here on the left-hand side, we can see what the TV looked like before this journal entry is processed. This is the journal entry itself, and we can see the impact that this journal entry will have on the trial balance. So a really cool feature. I know Ramon will be glad that I've demonstrated that one. And also another one that accountants really like is the ability to attach supporting documents at line level. So on all of our transactional screens, we can attach documents, but the journal entry screen goes that one step further where you can attach it per line item. And another big feature we've added to Palladium Premium is multiple bin locations. So on Palladium Enterprise, if you recall, we have the option to have 1 bin location per item per warehouse. So it's just a reference field. It didn't really do anything. Whereas on Palladium Premium, we can set up bin locations and items can be assigned to multiple. So this is where it's set up in our location icon. And on this screen under bin locations, I've just set up a couple of. So I've got one called bin 1 and one called bin 2. And we can specify a picking bin. Just to briefly explain these default ones, the picking bin is basically when you do a pick ticket, it will move it from where it's being stocked into a picking area, which is usually like a dispatch area, ready for delivery or collection. We've also got a default receiving bin, which is basically for GRV. We've got a default production bin where you might want stock, when you close a job, you want the stock to go into QC before it's released to the sales team. So we do have user security rights on there as well. And then the point of sale. So the point of sale module, if you have retail clients working on the point of sale on enterprise, I don't need to say much really, because you can see it's had a complete overhaul basically. This looks drastically different and the functionality goes a step further as well. So at a glance, you can see my item images are pulling through. It also caters for touchscreen functionality. We have the ability to create customers on here. You can process account payments and allocate transactions. But the biggest functionality in terms of POS has to be the offline capabilities on it. So we can set up a terminal as, we can set up a PC as a terminal basically. And all that really means is that we install SQL on the local PC, on the terminal, and the transactions process locally before they update the server. So in the event if your internet goes down or anything like that, it doesn't stop you from processing. The customer won't know any better. They won't know the internet's gone down. So it will store the transactions locally until the internet comes back on. So you'll see here on the top left, there's an online button there. It's not a button, it's just indicating that I'm online. I can't turn it offline, or I'm going to cut this webinar a lot shorter than what we wanted. So that's how the offline capability works. And now I'm just going to quickly touch on some of the other ones, functionality. So our purchase order approvals, again on enterprise, it was only a 1-level approval, and you could only assign a request for approval to 1 user. So I'm just going to activate that setting again in the options. And we've also got the ability to track budgets on here. That's something I'll just mention as well. So here under the approver setup, and it has been moved, so it might surprise you, the approver setup used to be on the accounts payable, it's now in the control panel. So you'll see here, I've set up two groups. I've got one for sales and I've got one for marketing. And then within those, I've got two people who need to approve a document before it gets approved. So I've got Anthony and Donovan set up. And then in marketing, I think I added a couple of people as well. I've just got the one in there. So where this comes into play is, so if I do a purchase requisition, just going to use my GL code that I used for the journal earlier. So on here, there's a couple of differences. So my available approver is now looking at groups rather than individuals. And you'll see here, we've also got a budget column that we've added here. So we can see what's been committed year to date and what the variance is. And if you do go above that budgeted amount, it does ask you to put in a reason. So we just force it over the top. And you'll see that I can't record this transaction until a reason is put in for going over budget. Okay. And then I'm just going to quickly glance over a couple of the other ones. We've got a CRM module that's been incorporated into Palladium Premium. So I know some accounting packages, the CRM just only starts at customer level. As Palladium goes up one step further where you can do it at transaction level. So you'll see here we've added an extra tab onto all sales documents. So you can see it's got a 1 next to it, so it just means this has been linked to a CRM case. I'll just open that up quickly. I see there's a few questions coming through. We'll come to those. So here's the one I have set up for that quotation. So it's just indicating, okay, what was that quotation for? Is a quote done for initial demo? You can link it to a customer. We also allow for prospects as well. And then at the bottom, there is actions here. So I put in an action here for Lisa to send a quotation to the client. And it does work with a notification as well. Before it's open on that screen. There we go. I've said Lisa, and then she'll get an email on her email address to send the quote to the client. Okay. And then lastly, I'm not doing it justice by just talking about it very briefly, but we have added a workshop module as well, where you can set up technicians and open up job cards. And you can create a job template, which is similar to creating a bill of materials in manufacturing. So like if you're a car dealership that services cars, you can set up a job template for annual services, etc. Okay, and there is a lot of other functionality I have left out, including vendor recons, but I'll just encourage you to have a look at our YouTube channel, because we do have some videos up there which does include that. And our newsletters, where we keep clients up to date with new features. All right, so thanks a lot. I'm going to hand you over to Stephen Corrigan, who will talk about the next upcoming functionality.
Okay, so hopefully you guys can hear me now. Yeah, I just wanted to touch on a couple of things that we did mention. I know that we went through the Magento web store. The Magento web store is a separate portal, so you'll be able to connect to it with your own domain. And Tasmyn referred to it as Shoppist, but it's actually Palladium e-commerce. Shoppist is just a marketplace domain that we created for those that don't have their own website. So if you have your own website and you create a subdomain like store.palladium, then that will be your store URL, and that will update on the service. So although she mentioned Shoppers, Shoppers is only there for those that don't have their own website domain. So we'd recommend you just create a subdomain, or we have clients actually redirecting their main website domain. So they've created the company name.co.za. They don't have a website, the store is their website. So it could be either or. We've also doing a plugin for WooCommerce. So that would be an add-in to WooCommerce. WooCommerce is the e-commerce technology for WordPress. We haven't done Shopify yet. But in terms of Magento, if you go into a thing called marketplace.magento.com, you will see all these different add-ins. We have created a ton of add-ins like integration with Google Maps when someone's typing out an email address to authenticate. We've added in document attachments, videos on different items. We've rewritten the main search bar to search by categories and search for contains any specific items. And if you go into that address that we showed you, you can actually go and create your own store, and provided your Palladium company is hosted, the API connection's already created. So it's literally up and running in seconds. The mobile, one of the things that Lisa didn't touch on, which I'm going to say is my favorite, is, and it's not that she didn't touch on it intentionally, it was just not part of a script, but I'm just saying it because it's my favorite, is the instant notifications on price overrides at point of sale. So if someone has a price override, and in fact, not just point of sale, accounts receivable, where it's a price change or something like that, additional discount, instead of going to the screen to do a approval, it does the system does a push notification to the approver, and they can approve that from wherever they are in the world. So I'll hopefully after this, I know one of the things is going to be, right, this is fantastic, but you keep promising and you don't deliver. So we've created an online store for you to go and do demos. We'll send you links shortly on the latest iOS as well as Android versions of the app. And we'll hopefully have a Windows UWP, which Universal Windows Program version, by probably the end of next week. But that's normally the end of next week in our life is probably about a month's time. So lots going on. Just on what we're doing at the moment, one of the hotly things we're finishing off is the ZRA, which is Zambian Revenue Authority fiscalization. Multiple units of measure has been completed and merged as a beta. And hopefully we'll be able to send that out to those that are interested, probably, I would say, close of next week, because it's just been merged into the main system. So it's it affects a lot of areas like supply prices and all the rest of it. Customer and supplier control accounts per account, that is also in the same version under beta. So it's very much beta version, not alpha version. Sage Evolution conversion. This probably should have been done by the end of September, but we didn't tell you which year. But it's it's going to be the middle of November. So we have done the extraction from Evolution, and all but 3 scripts have actually been merged into the Palladium staging tables. But it's from there, which is the same tables as partner, and it's from there then we'll start taking it out into Palladium. So I think the hard work has been done. It's just a matter of getting the rest done. The supplier volume rebates. So you'll probably find that the POD was actually developed for a retail store where they actually just scan the invoice, and rather than take a picture or anything, all it does is record that this slip has left the store, like we do in a macro, for example. So that was done for that, as is multiple units of measure, as is supplier rebates, as is push notifications on point of sale. This was a huge development that was actually done for a large chain of retail stores, offline point of sale, had been modified to suit their needs as well. Hence a large delay there. Just trying to find out who's going to respond. Also, the business alerts. We've rewritten the business alerts tool. We're using a language called Angular, and a lot of our new technologies in Angular. And the new Palladium is actually going to be in Angular. So one of the things that I'm not sure why it's not there, probably it's the last point that's probably hidden because we're technically challenged here. But the main one is converting Palladium to a browser-based application. Now, the new version with the multiple units of measure has probably half of the product now in the, probably 3/4 of the product now in the 4-tier technology and with a WPF front end. So once that is complete, and we're hoping to have that done in 6 months' time, and once that's complete, we'll be putting an Angular front end to that, which will give us the option of running Palladium either using the browser in Angular or having Palladium run as a traditional desktop application using WPF. So although everyone's rushing to get it to the browser, it is still noticeably slow in an FMCG type environment. But all the functionality will be available, and you probably see the mobile, the Windows Mobile you saw now almost running in a desktop type environment. That is very much the Windows UWP. It'll be in the Windows 10 store, etc., etc. And one of the last ones is actually on the time and attendance to mobile and integrating to payroll is, I don't know if you noticed very much that we geotag people. All we're doing is having a login and log out button, and that will geotag them when they log in, place and time, and when they log out, and we'll import that to payroll. It's really going to be that simple or that complex, depending on how we do it. There's a few other things that we're doing, but the main focus of the business is to really catch up, get the product released. Hopefully, we'll be releasing the version 24 on premium. It's imminent, in fact, and there's a lot of clients actually using it at the moment, and I think there's a lot of our BPs actually selling it and installing it. And then we're going to have version 25 that we're running in-house at the moment on premium. And what I'm showing you here is version 26, except for the ZRA fiscalization, which will come into version 25. So I think on a nutshell, that's sort of what we've got planned for the rest of the year, outside of new features on mobile, which is we constantly adding, because that's already in a 4-tier environment. So for us, it's actually just adding the screen, the interface. All the logic is mostly all there now because of the 4-tier architecture. So it's quite exciting that we're able to now just start adding features, be it mobile, it could be browser, it could be anything really you like. If there's any questions, we can address them at the end, and I'm just going to hand over to Donovan because we've got 7 minutes left, so hopefully he's going to speak a little bit quicker than I did.
Okay, thank you. So just to, in the interest of time, I know that I see Adam's typing away, trying to answer questions as they're coming on the chat, and we'll obviously get to the balance of them now. But just to launch a special offer for the remainder of the year, as a commitment to our business partners and our clients. Obviously, we haven't increased any pricing. And on top of that, we think that the special that we're announcing really complements that in the sense of really a big drive towards getting customers to upgrade to the new premium version of Palladium. So if the customer's on an existing subscription model, whether that be monthly, quarterly, or annually, and we do an upgrade to premium, the price that they pay will be fixed for 3 years. So they'll pay the new the premium subscription cost, but we'll price lock that for a period of 3 years, which is a fantastic benefit to the customer in terms of budgeting, and they can make sure and they can be comfortable that there's no increases for a set period of time. With regards to clients that have purchased outright, we will give them a 50% discount on the software, and that's irrespective of whether they're on a valid support contract or not. So we essentially wavering the upgrade fee that they would incur if they were multiple versions behind. So this is irrespective of what version they're on. If they want to upgrade from business to premium or enterprise to premium, they'll get the same offer. And over and above that, we're going to price lock the support agreement for 3 years. So although it's only mandatory for year one, they can be assured that if they extend it thereafter for 3 years, their price will remain fixed with no increases. So it's a very, very simple concept. I think it adds a lot of value to the end user, to our clients, and to your clients. So we're going to run this and have it till the end of the year. If you have any questions, anything you're unsure of related to that special, please get in touch with your account manager, and we'll be happy to go through it in more detail. In terms of questions, I think we will. Adam, can you just help me out here?
Yeah, sure.
Just how do I give them the ability to unmute themselves?
They should, do they not? I think they can do it.
Okay, so what we've done is we've essentially just given you the ability to unmute yourself. So if you have any questions, to avoid everyone speaking at once, I think if you can just unmute yourself and maybe introduce yourself, and then we'll be happy to answer the question. We don't have much time, so we'll try and answer the most important ones right now, or not that they aren't all important, but your account manager will be happy to address any other questions you may have via email, or you're welcome to contact us afterwards. So if there are any questions, please, yeah.
Send out the link, we'll send out the update to the latest version of Premium, and we'll send instructions on how to download the apps.
So we can upgrade Zambia for the demo.
Yes.
Okay, so if there aren't any questions, just in closing, we'll send out a follow-up email after the webinar, just including a link to the video of the webinar. We'll include download instructions for the latest version of Premium that can be downloaded and tested out, which can effectively be demoed to your existing customers. Adam, I see that there are things coming through.
There's just a couple of questions I see in the chat. So we've got Jacob asking about POS, how long until it can be implemented, say, in a supermarket. We do have 1 or 2 clients already in that environment, so that's good to go.
Adam, 6 months already.
It's been ready for 6 months.
It's been used for 6 months.
It's been used for 6 months by this client, so it is already in that environment. Let me know if I missed any of the questions. Someone's asking for the link for the Android app, so it is available in the Play Store already. Ramon's very impressed with the great offering, the 3-year lock.
Gauge with us.
Okay. And then Dean's asking, does the 50% discount and 3-year lock apply to clients I've already taken over to Premium? Yeah, the answer is yes. I'm getting a nod on my side. Okay. I apologize if I missed any questions. Let me know, but I think that's all for now.
Yeah, so thanks again for everyone that attended. Just in closing, we will be sending out a newsletter at the end of this week, which will be promoting Premium and effectively launching Premium. So thank you. Thanks again. If you have any other questions, anything more you require from anyone, any more information required on how to get access to certain things you saw today, contact your account manager and we'll be able to assist you further. All right. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.